Hello, welcome to our morning yoga. I'm Kate. Today we will be doing a leg balancing series that will lead into Bird of Paradise pose. So let's get started on our backs. Just in any position that's comfortable. A sloppy Savasana. Feet can be tossed to the side, or even your knees can be bent and laying against each other. And take a nice awareness to your surroundings. Take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Start to just feel the earth beneath you supporting you on your whole backside. From here, I want you to bring awareness to your purpose today, whether it's to learn how to flow into Bird of Paradise, to stretch out your hips, or to just have a fun time. Whatever your theme is, bring a little authenticity into your theme. So be present with yourself today and what your body needs this morning. Go ahead and start to shift into a Tadasana on our backs. So flex the feet, slide the palms in, open the palms to the sky, roll the shoulders back, and take a nice inhale. Hug one knee into the chest, and draw some circles with that knee here. And go ahead and release. Inhale the other leg here. With that flexed foot, sort of imagine yourself doing this while standing, while the earth is supporting you here. Let's continue those circles. And release. This time I want you to inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, I want you to lift your head, reach your fingertips to your foot here, and then on that next exhale, round the shoulders and press your foot away from you as you reach your fingertips back towards your face. So nice shoulder stretch here. If you can't quite reach your foot, you can also hold on to your shin here. And release. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, reach the fingertips as far as you're able to the bottom of your foot. Round the shoulders, tuck the chin, and press. Beautiful, release. Come back into that Tadasana, that active Tadasana on the mat. Next, inhale, reach the right peace fingers to the right big toe, and just let that knee drop as much as you're able. Maybe in this practice you extend your leg. If you're still not quite warm, just keep it bent. Good. From here, I want you to bend the left knee. And just go ahead and place your foot just above the left knee, coming into figure 4. So collapse your legs into your chest. As you're doing so, try to push that right knee away from the body. Feeling that hip stretch in your right glute here. Let's release, lengthen the legs again, and reach the left peace fingers to that left big toe. Keeping that right foot flexed. Let the hip open up. Maybe this side you lengthen the leg. Think about yourself standing here in this pose. And go ahead and bend the right knee, place that left foot on top of the right knee, just above the right knee, and come into your figure 4. You can sort of rock this figure 4 or kind of lean it to one side if you need a little bit more of a stretch, or you're just not quite finding that stretch here. Beautiful. Go ahead and release. Hug both knees into the chest. Tuck the chin. And clasp both hands around the backs of your knees. We're going to take 1 to 3 rocks up to your boat pose here. Hands can stay by the legs, or they can release, extending the arms, maybe extending the legs here, or even lowering this boat. We're here for about 30 seconds, so you can either keep progressing this boat, or you can regress back to an easier pose. Here for 2 and 1. Release. Let's release into a butterfly pose. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, forehead to toes, and gently roll back up. I'm going to turn here to face you. Come into a crisscross position. Go ahead and reach the left palm to the opposite knee. And inhale, reach the other fingertips up and over. With each inhale, we're opening up that side body. Exhaling, closing the other side. Beautiful. Come back to center and just reach those fingertips behind. Nice gentle twist. Your gaze can be to the side or over your shoulder. Good. And release. Other side, opposite hand to opposite knee. Inhaling the other fingertips up and over. Good. Just leaning into it. That palm helping you support yourself here. And come back to center. Reach the fingertips behind. A nice gentle twist. And come back to center. Let's kick our knees back, come into a tabletop, and just find your cat-cows. So drop the belly with an inhale, lift the gaze. Sink the shoulders and the shoulder joints. On your next exhale, dip the tailbone, round the shoulders, tuck the chin. Beautiful. Take a few more rounds here with your own rhythm. So you can keep that slow pace or you can quicken it. Come back to tabletop position, curl the toes under. Maybe broaden your stance to prep for downward facing dog. Send those hips back. And find your down dog. First down dog of the day, so pedal it out. Bend the knees generously. Good. From here, we're going to find some down dog push-ups. So we're just going to bend the knees and bend the elbows at the same time and sort of come into this bear pose. And then release, come back into your down dog. Good. We're going to do that 4 more times here. Just continuing to warm up the body. Last 2. And 1. Good. Inhale. Walk or hop your feet to the top of your mat. Forward fold. And inhale, rise. Find your Tadasana pose. We're going to be coming into our sun salutation B. So inhale, reach the fingertips up high, upward salute. Exhale, chair pose. Sink nice and deep here. We'll stay here for a moment. Release down to your Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Step out to plank. Inhale to prepare chaturanga to the earth. And let's inhale to a cobra. Beautiful. Release back to downward facing dog. Let's move through our warrior one. So inhale any leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Send it forward just behind your hands. Spiral down the back heel. Inhale to rise. Warrior one. Inhale, reach those fingertips up high. And exhale, plant the hands. Let's take our flow, chaturanga. This time maybe a higher cobra or an upward facing dog. Good. Once you're back in that downward facing dog, inhale the other heel up to the sky and send it forward. Prep for warrior one. Inhale to rise, lift the hands. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Plant the hands back down. Let's take another flow here at your own pace. Go slower or faster than I'm cueing. Hop to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. And let's sit back into that chair pose. Beautiful. Rise to Tadasana. Let's make our way back to the earth here. Go ahead and reach the fingertips up again, upward salute to chair pose. Good. Forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Good. Step out to plank. This time we're going to hold our chaturanga for 10 seconds here. So roll the shoulders back. Exhale, chaturanga. Shoulders are above the elbow joints. Knees can come to the earth. Good, and drop down to the earth. Shake out the wrists if needed. Inhale to a cobra or an upward facing dog. And let's come back to our down dog. This time inhaling the left heel up to the sky. Send it forward, low lunge. So drop that back knee. And inhale, reach the hands up high. And let's bend up the elbows. We're going to clasp our hands around the bottom of our tricep here. And you're going to lift the elbows and pull them apart. Really stretching through those arms and that chest. And if you're not quite feeling that stretch in that right thigh, go ahead and creep those front toes forward. And then let's take a dip to the left here. Nice side body stretch. Beautiful. Come back to center. And we're going to take our half splits here. So you don't really need equipment for this practice today. If you like using blocks and you have them at home, you can use them here. So let's lengthen that foot here, flex the foot, square the hips, and exhale, hinge forward. So if you can't quite touch the ground, then just kind of stay here in this balancing pose. Or if you would like to fold over, reach the fingertips to the earth. Curl the head, curl the spine, and take a moment to relax here. Now you have an option to stay here, or you can walk your hands back and sit fully on that right knee, and fully extending the left. Hands can be still by your side, or they can be reaching in front, holding on to that foot. If there's any pain or pressure in that right knee, then just come back to that half split. Beautiful. for support, go ahead and slide the hands back down by your side. Inhale, lift up. Hands come to the front of your mat. Curl the toes under, lift the back knee. Send that left leg back to a three-legged dog. And send it forward. Come back into your warrior one. Lengthen that front leg. And then bring that back heel in. Kind of shift the toes over. We're coming into warrior two. Good. Inhale, reach forward and back. Reverse warrior. Exhale. Come into your side angle, so arms can be wherever they'd like. That left forearm can be on that thigh here. Inhale, lift the body back up, lengthen the front leg, and pivot the toes to face the side of your mat. Let's come into our Prasarita, wide-legged forward fold. Rock the hips back and forth here. And then just bring your heels in one. Inhale to a halfway lift. And let's sit back into our goddess pose. Elbows in, hugging into the ribs. We're going to stay here for a moment, so hands can stay here. You can reach above to sort of extend and challenge the core. Maybe sink a little deeper here. We're here for about 30 seconds. We're here for 5. Keep breathing. Good. Exhale. Release to the top. Let's bring the toes back in. Do a quick Prasarita, and then just walk your hands and feet back to the front of your mat. Step your toes back, and let's take our 30-second chaturanga hold this time. So inhale to prepare, exhale chaturanga. Keep holding, keep breathing. You can always drop to your knees and then pick them back up again. There's an intense hold here. You got it. We're here for about 6 more seconds. Good. Release to the earth. Shake out those hands. Good. Inhale to a nice upward facing dog. Take a breath or two here. Beautiful. Let's switch to the other side. So inhale that right heel up to the sky and send it forward. Low lunge. Inhale, reach the fingertips up high. Let's come back into that elbow bend. Roll the shoulders back and lift them. Pull the elbows apart. And then creep those toes forward if you're not quite feeling that hip stretch, and go ahead and dip to the right. Taking about 1 to 3 breaths here, and then coming back to center. Exhaling, release. Lengthen that right leg now, come into your half split. So square the hips, hinge forward. Option to stay here or ground the fingertips. And fold over that right knee. Stay here for a breath or two. And then if you're sitting back on that knee, go ahead and slide that foot back. Fully flex the right knee. Another option, if you have blocks, is to place a block underneath that right glute for a little bit more support here. Hands can be extended. Take a moment to just take your breath here before we head into our balancing poses. We're taking our time to open up our hips and our legs for that bird of paradise pose. It takes a lot of muscle and balance. Let's inhale, lift the body back up. Plant the hands, curl the toes under, lift the back knee. If you can't quite shoot to a three-legged dog, you can heel toe that foot just back towards your hip and then lift that foot. Exhale, reach that right foot forward. Prep for warrior one. I'm going to switch my mat here so you can see me a little better. Good. Warrior one. Lengthen that leg, bring that heel in, and just shift your feet to come into warrior two. So that front heel is aligned with that back arch. Inhale, reach the fingertips forward and back, reverse warrior. And exhale, side angle. Reach the hands back to the sky, lengthen that leg. Let's take our Prasarita on the other side here. So those toes are facing the side of your mat. Let's walk our hands over to the left side here. Take a nice inner thigh stretch. And we're going to start our balancing series. So left hand wraps around that left ankle, and that right palm reaches down to the earth, shoulder in line with the wrist. Now, without jumping here, we're going to shift our weight as we exhale to line that hip with that ankle. As you do so, your right heel is going to lift, toes are going to slide, and you're going to lift that leg. So feet are parallel together. Doesn't matter how high you are lifting here. And exhale, release. We're going to try it on the other side now. So if you kind of know maybe that was too easy, you can widen your stance or you can shorten it. Right hand to right ankle, left palm grounds down. Exhale, try to shift that weight to that right leg. Left toes scoot closer and use those hip muscles to lift. Maybe the left palm even comes off the ground and wrap around your leg. And release, forward fold. And then let's walk our hands back to the front of our mat. Step out to plank. You can take an optional flow here. You can come into a downward facing dog. Good. If you're still in that flow, take your time. We're just coming up to a standing pose position. And let's inhale, reach the hands up high. We're going to be taking a revolved chair pose, so you can shorten your stance if that feels comfortable. Exhale, chair pose, hands come to heart center. And then just bring an opposite elbow to the opposite knee. Doesn't matter which way you're twisting here. Come back to center and over to the other side. Good. Come back to that chair pose and release, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Good. Step out to plank. Let's lean back, downward facing dog. Inhale that first leg up to the sky, left leg, and reach it forward. Low lunge, keep that back knee lifted. We're going to slide that right palm close to the left. We're going to take a revolved low lunge. So inhale, fingertips either come to that hip here or they're reaching towards the sky. From here, we're going to come into a standing position. So if your stance is too wide, just kind of slide those back toes forward. Squeeze the legs together. Exhale, rise to that revolved high lunge. And come back to center, high lunge. Drop the back heel, come into your warrior two. Inhale, reach forward and back, reverse warrior. Exhale. This time with our side angle, we're planting that left palm, reaching the right fingertips straight up. Good. We're going to take our side angle here. So gaze can come to the earth, bend that right elbow, reach it for that back hip bone, that left glute. And then bend the left elbow, let your shoulder meet your knee here, and just slide the palm underneath the leg and reach for those fingertips behind. They don't have to touch here. If they touch, you can go into that bird of paradise pose. We'll come back here, roll the shoulders back, really bring those hips forward. Exhale, release. Square the shoulders and hips to the earth. Step that foot out to plank. Good. And take your chaturanga to an upward facing dog. Let's move to the other side. So inhale that right foot up to your three-legged dog. Low lunge. Keep that back knee lifted. Slide that left palm to your right. And inhale. Another way is to bring that right palm to the knee. Roll the shoulders back and then reach the fingertips up. Good. So we're going to stand here. So shorten that stance if you need. Squeeze that front heel and back toes together. Exhale, push. Good. Come into that revolved high lunge and twist back to center. Let's come into that warrior two position here. I'm gonna switch sides so you can see me here on this side. Reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle, palm comes all the way to the earth. Bend in that right knee. Let's bend the elbow here, that top elbow. Fingertips reach for that back hip. Right elbow bends, shoulder meets the knee, and then you can slide that left palm underneath and reach the fingertips behind. So they're kind of behind that right glute here. Keep bending in that right knee, rolling that left shoulder back. Core is engaged. Exhale to release, plant the palms. Good. Step out to plank. You can take that flow here or take a child's pose. We're making our way to the middle of our mat in a forward fold. From here, we're going to just shift our weight to our left leg here. Inhale to a halfway lift and just bend that right knee. Good. So we're taking a balancing half lift pose. And then maybe one hand comes to heart center. Maybe the other follows. Good. From here, so your hands can be grounded or in heart center. As we exhale, we're going to push up to your one-legged Tadasana. From here, let's take a spinal twist. So bring that left palm to the opposite knee and reach the fingertips back behind, or they can be on the hip. Lots of options in yoga. Good, come back to center. If you need to break off that standing leg, go ahead and set it down. Or hinge at the hips, come into your warrior three. Inhale, try to lift that pelvis off of the femur bone. Exhale, step the toes behind. Inhale to your high lunge. And exhale, plant the hands and step the foot back into your downward dog. Walk the feet forward to the middle of your mat. Let's find that same sequence on the other side. So shift that weight over to your right foot now. Bend in the left knee. Make sure you're in that half lift. Maybe your right palm comes to heart center, followed by the other. As we exhale, push into the ground. Your toes can come to the earth. If you fall over, that's okay. Let's take that spinal twist again. So right palm to left knee, other hand reaches back. Come back to center and hinge forward, warrior 3. Find lightness in that right foot. Step the back toes down, high lunge. And step it back down to plank. And let's just make our way to the top of our mat in our forward fold. And then roll up to Tadasana. We're headed into our bird of paradise pose now. So bring the feet together. Inhale, reach the hands up high. Exhale, chair pose. Hands come to heart center. And let's take a revolved chair over to the left. From here, bring that weight all the way into that left knee. And we're going to step those toes back behind. If you need to take 1 to 2 steps here, just for balance, you can do so. And then let's twist back to center. And inhale, rise, high lunge. And meet me in our warrior 2. Inhale, reach forward and back. Exhale, side angle. So we're finding that side angle bind again here. So we're bending both elbows, shoulder meets the knee, find that bind. And if you can't quite reach, you don't have a strap, you can hold on to a shirt here. So from here, we're gonna heel toe the feet together. Find it's easier to heel toe that back foot in a little bit, and then heel toe that front foot in, or maybe even both at the same time. So you wanna get them nice and close together here. And then we're going to lift that heel. And as we exhale, we're going to push. Once you're done with that exhale, inhale, open up the chest. And find your bird of paradise pose. Breathe here. We're finding about 8 breaths. You can lengthen your leg here if that's in your practice. If you fall over, that's okay. Just reposition here and make your way back up. Lots of leg strength here. So 2 options to get out of this. You can come out of it the way we came, or you can gently release and let that leg fall down. Good. Let's just take a Malasana squat here. Lengthen out those hips. Maybe that left one feels a little more loose here. Exhale, go ahead and press and stand up. Come to the top of your mat. And inhale, reach the hands up high. Feet are as close together. And let's find that chair pose. This time taking the revolved chair to the right here. Bring all that weight into that right leg. And step the left toes back. Revolved lunge. Twist back to center. Lift the fingertips, lift the chest, high lunge. Good. And find your warrior 2. Reach back, reverse warrior. Find that side angle here. Good. Let's find that side angle bind. Reach the fingers back. Heel toe one leg here. followed by the other. Get them as close together as possible. Inhale to prepare. I like to lift my heel to prepare, so just my toe is touching down. And then exhale, lift the body. And inhale, open up the chest. Good. It's okay if we wobble, if we fall over. Another option too, if you can't quite stand, is just practicing lifting the toes and holding here. Keep holding your bird of paradise pose. Another option is to bring the leg to a block or chair and then find that bind. So you can kind of get the feeling of being in bird of paradise pose if you can't quite stand up and do that one-legged squat there. Let's exhale, release. Find your Malasana squat. Thank yourself for being present here today. For trying maybe some new things or old things. And make our way on to our booty here. So in that Malasana squat, you can just sit back. If that's too uncomfortable, you can stand back up and sit down. And then start to make your way back onto your backs here to prep for your Savasana. You can stay here as long as what's needed. Maybe you find a couple poses here to kind of help you prep for your Savasana. We did a lot of hip work, so a few options is to come into a reverse butterfly. I leave you here in Savasana. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.